Hi YouTube, it's Jade and Christopher. Christopher just did the really cutest thing just a second ago, so that's why I'm smiling so big. Um, I have a little bit of time, and while it's still fresh in my head, and I'm actually more comfortable speaking on camera and watching myself speak and posting videos on YouTube, I wanted to do a bio, and I feel like I have a lot to share about myself and my life and why I am now and who I am now. So I'm probably going to do this in a few different parts. Basically, to start, I'm Jade. Drayson Jade is actually my magical name. I prefer to be called Jade within the pagan community. My birth name is Candace, and I have pretty much lived in California my whole entire life, except for 2 years in Texas. Thank you, Christopher. Um, I was born October 19th. I'm 28 years old. I'm happily married. As a matter of fact, we're going to be celebrating our 6th wedding anniversary on April 7th. So in a couple more weeks, I think. A couple more weeks? April 8th. April 8th. Sorry, I always do that. Usually it's the guy that forgets the anniversary. Anyway, so a little about me from the beginning. I lived with my birth mom most of my childhood, well, off and on. She had some chemical dependency issues, so I didn't really have a very stable upbringing, although I lived with my grandfather for a majority of my childhood as well, so off and on between the two houses and foster care and all that. So it was really rough on me, which probably explains why I have such severe anxiety nowadays. I think it stems from the constant moving around. I've been to, like, I would say 18 different schools from kindergarten to high school. So moving around so much. Also, I have a little brother, or younger brother I should say, and he's 4 years younger than me. And I have an adopted sister, and I'll get more into that in a little bit. And she is 6 years younger than me. She's 21. 8 years. So she's 8 years younger than me. I lived with my birth mom all the way up until I was 15, and then was permanently placed into foster care. And later on, I was actually adopted into a family, which is very unheard of for a 16-year-old to actually find a family and to be adopted into that family. My mother passed away when I was 16 due to her illnesses. Sorry, guys. Okay, and I'm in my kids' room because the light's better in this room than it is in the rest of the house. Stop it. Okay, so basically how my spiritual path is involved in all this. Basically, when I was 10, can you please go play? When I was 10, my mother had to go to rehab, and I had to go into a foster home. My brother and I both had to. And the foster home I actually went to, their belief systems, it was actually right outside an Indian reservation, and I'm not going to say where because for privacy reasons. And that is when I first well, I wouldn't say it's the first time I was exposed to natural, or I wouldn't say natural, nature, or paganism. Let's just say paganism. See, my mother, she believed in a lot of pagan beliefs, although she didn't want it to influence me or my brother one way or another. So she kept it private and raised us, like I said, from the time I was 10, with a Catholic background. Sorry, my allergies are really bothering me today. And so when I was in this foster home, basically they did this thing. And if anybody knows what this is, I've been trying to research about what it is they did, but it's within their Native American belief, whatever it is. What they did is they did some sort of a thing where like a numerology thing, where they calculated.
It's 11 o'clock.
Where they calculated the age of my soul. And from then, they were actually able to determine my life path and what lessons I need to learn in this life. And it was determined that I need to grow and learn. I'm on a more of a learning life path. And I need to be sure to grow and learn as much as I can, and don't let different things influence my life, so that way I need to be able to finish my education. And it was just such a neat experience when they did that to me, when they did that. And that was my first eye-opening pagan experience when I was 10 years old. And from then on, I looked and sought out as many books as possible, but it was very, very hard because, I was 10 years old, and it was about, I don't know, how old was I? What year was it when I was 10? Like mid-90s. So it wasn't like everybody had internet, and the internet back then wasn't like how it is now. And so it was very, very hard to find the information. But I had happened to come across one book, and I don't remember the name of it. I just know it said something about teen witches in it. And I swear I read that book cover to cover tons of times. And I learned so much about it. And when I went to regular church, I actually enjoyed it. I love, especially when I went to Mass, I love I love the ceremonial feeling. And I always felt like there was some sort of a void in my life. Like, it just didn't feel right. It never felt right. I mean, I went to different church within different branches of Christianity, and none of them felt right. I've always felt like the black sheep within Christianity, even as a kid. And I don't think that's normal for a child to feel, well, I just don't fit in here. What's wrong with me? Why don't I feel like I belong? And I just feel that I am on a different spiritual path than a lot of others.